Hey guys, we're working on a 2004 Chevy Trailblazer. We're going to be replacing the front hub bearing. As you can see, I've got it on a floor jack. I've got a safety stand underneath to support, and the wheels off the ground. The hub bearings, I got these on eBay. This is the part number there. I paid $60 for both of them, so we're going to be doing both sides. If you were to go to AutoZone or Napa or somewhere like that to pick these up, they're usually a little bit over $100 a piece. I got both of them with the sensors for $60, so they're on eBay. I'll be showing you guys how to do this. It's not that difficult. I see you guys taking apart a lot of unnecessary things in order to do these that make it a lot more time consuming. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and pop the wheel off and pop that off. Those are 19 millimeters, so I'll get those off. Okay, the next thing you'll need is a 36 millimeter socket. And you want to take this off. Now, I really want to talk to you guys about this next step. I see a lot of guys using a big sledgehammer like that, and they put the nut back on. They put the nut back on to protect the thread. That is a horrible idea, guys. Do not do that. Spend the money and go buy yourself a brass hammer. These hammers do not damage the threads. It's got brass on one side, and you can take it. You can hit it directly on the thread, and you won't damage the threads. Just give it a nice hit, now it's loose. Okay, so the next step is to go ahead and get back in the car, turn the wheel to the driver's side so that you can get to the caliper easier. Then you're going to need a 13 millimeter ratchet. And you're going to loosen this bolt. Okay, you'll take this one bolt out. I like to keep all my bolts together here, so just in there. You're going to lift up on this. Now you can get a flathead screwdriver. There you go. See how I put it in at the edge over here? So I wasn't messing with the metal, because there's this metal piece here. And if you do bend it a little bit, just bend it back. Okay. Now all you're going to do is wiggle this up and down and slide it out. And you don't have to take the top one out. Now you can just set it to the back, or you can take a bungee cord and wrap it. That's what I would do. Okay, now you've got your brake pads. And these brakes are getting low. I need brake pads. Look at that. Well, maybe we'll put new pads on it while we're here today then. Okay, now what we need to do, so we have to get these two bolts out so we can get the rotor off. Okay, so this socket is a size 18. There's one. And then we'll have to move the brake caliper because it's in my way of getting back to this. So we'll just set it back on top like that. So get back in here. Now we've gotten those. Now we've got the bracket off. We can move the caliper back over out of the way, grab the rotor, slide it off. If the rotor didn't pop off, you could take this brass hammer and you're going to hit. Just give it a good hit and that'll break it free. Okay? So, all right, now the next step. A lot of people like to take this top piece off here. You don't need to, guys. When you start to loosen these inside bolts that are in here, this actually just slides off. Okay, so by this just sliding off, you don't need to take any of this apart. Okay, so that's the next thing. Let's see what size this is. Okay, that's an 18. So I'm going to come back here. I'm going to go ahead and get this one out. So that bolt is completely coming out without interfering that at all. Let's turn the wheel back in the other direction. You might want to make sure your caliper is not interfering when you turn. Right now I have it just sitting here, so it's not in my way. Now that I have it turned the other direction, you can see that I can actually get into that top bolt a lot easier, and I can get to the bottom bolt. So we're gonna go ahead and do those next. Okay, so for the top and the bottom one, what I did was I got an 18 millimeter short socket and a swivel. And I would have liked to have used my impact swivel, but I couldn't find it right now. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. And I'll be able to stick this down on the bottom. It slides right in there and get that. And if you need to, you can use an extension to get on to that bolt. Let's see if I need an extension or not. Okay, so I got it loose. Now you don't need to get these all the way out right now, because you might get it stuck slightly on the axle. You just need to get it started, so don't get carried away like I did and try taking it all the way out if you don't want to. But I did get it out. There it is. Okay, now all I have is one more to do. So let's see here. I gotta put this back on. Get one more bolt to do here on the top, and hit it with the gun. And as you can see, this will start backing out. And I can leave that top bolt in. Okay, so this is out. Now what we got to do is undo the sensor. So, since I'm out here, I'm going to go ahead and remove this socket because I don't care about it. I actually was able to remove the bolt completely out, as you can see. So this is completely undone now. I'm ready to go. So all I need to do now is slide this out. So what I'm going to do is there's a sensor here. It comes new with it. So I'm not going to break this sensor because I want to hold on to it for a spare, since I know I don't have any check engine lights. So you're going to unplug it. You follow it up, and I believe this is it right here. It unplugs right there. So you'll just undo all the little clips to it and pull it out. So I'll be back. Okay, so I got all the clips. So this top one has a lip on this side. You can use a little pick and just get right behind it and pull it, and that'll open. Okay, on this back one over here, I actually go in from this side here. Let's see if you can see my finger, and I squeeze it, push it back through. On this one up here, I actually used a pair of dikes and just squeezed right between it, and it just popped it out. On the one back there, it's got another lip. You can see how it opens. Let's see if I can get a light. It opens that way, so it pushed back. Okay, and then this one here, you just pop out. It's just a hole, and it just comes out. That leaves you all this pieces here. So this was the piece that I was telling you that I squeezed together to get out, and then on the very end, this is the piece that I just pulled out. Now, look at where the angle of where this plate is. This plate sits square here because it lines up with the brake rotor, and the sensor goes in over here through the hole. So now all you want to do is just work it out. If you're having problems, again, take your sledgehammer and hit on the axle, and it'll help to pop it out. And that's it. So let me get this out real quick. Okay, to put it back together, I usually straighten the axle back out, straighten the wheel back out. Okay, one thing to know is when you're, I got that bolt started, I got all 3 bolts back in while the axle is straight like this, but you do not want to tighten that bolt. Just get it started. That way you can wiggle and move this axle a little bit to get the bolts started. Otherwise, it'll act like you can't get the bolts back in because the axle's in your way. Okay, I've got these 2 bolts on this side all tightened up. This one turns by hand over here, so when I turn it back the other way, I'll button it up. Anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and get these all back together, and then we'll turn the wheel.